What's going on, everybody? It's your boy TJ the Motivational Realtor. Welcome to another edition of Tiny Talk Tuesday. I'm so glad that you could join me once again. Now listen, if you remember last week, we talked about making a way when it seems like there is no way, pushing yourself, having self-accountability, pushing yourself to the next level when you don't feel like it, persevering. But this week is going to tie in with last week, because just as important as it is to push yourself, it's important to have a great circle of influence that pushes you. Now, I know you may be saying, I don't need anybody to push me. I don't need anybody around me. I'm good. But the truth is, in order to go to that next level, you need somebody who is there or who is above there and who have been there before, who can pull you up in order to get there. Because you keep asking yourself questions like, how can I get to the next level? How can I be better? Well, the truth is, you're not going to get better because you don't know where to go next. You feel lost right now. So I come to tell you about your circle of influence, because those who are in your circle of influence will determine what your future looks like. It's not just you. It's people who are around you who are going to help you get to where you want to be in the future. Now, I'm going to tell you about this guy named Stephen Covey. And he had a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in that book, it talked about a circle of concern and it talked about a circle of influence. Now, with the circle of concern, there is something called reactive people. We may be a reactive person, or we may be around reactive people. My brother says it like this: if you are the smartest person in the room, you probably need to get out of that room. If you see people continually reacting to situations, I'll put it like this: in real estate, I have certain addendums and I have certain documents that I have to send to somebody if I list their property or if they're a buyer who I'm trying to help get a property. If I react all the time, if it's toward the end of my transaction and we're about to close and I have not sent documents off, I have not done what I'm supposed to do, when that check comes in that I'm supposed to get, I'm telling you, I'm not going to get the check. The broker is not going to release my check until I send those documents in, until I get those addendums done. Because in order for me to get paid, I have to have all these things on file so I can get what I need to get. If I'm reactive, I'll send them out late. I won't do what I'm supposed to do. And in your industry, it's the same thing. There are certain things that you may need to get. If you're a speaker and you have a big conference coming up, you may need to get a venue and vendors. If you call everybody at the last minute, there may be people who are already booked. There may be people who can't come. And I'm trying to tell you that I had to get my mind right because I was reactive as well. And I'm talking to you. You may be reactive and you may be doing that same thing. I'm trying to tell you that you have to stop. And it starts with your circle of influence. Now, that was circle of concern. Reactive people, people who react to situations late instead of being on top of it. Now you have a circle of influence where people who are proactive. Proactive people get in front of the situation before it happens. If I'm proactive about my real estate, then I send the addendums and the documents off when I need to. Now a lot of you, I don't know what you do, but you may need to make phone calls in order to be proactive. You have to stop thinking about the no and people who are going to tell you no. But if you don't get the right people around you, then you'll find yourself lost and stuck in the same situation over and over and over again, being reactive. But if you get people around you who you see are proactive, I just got off the phone with my guy last night, Carl, man, and we were talking for about an hour. And me and Carl were talking about dreams that we had and goals that we had. And we kept saying, in order to do this, we have to be consistent. I needed to talk to him because he told me, Tavares, you're doing a good job. But listen, this is what I need you to do. After you post like, comment, share at the end of your video, you need to put up there who they can like, comment, and follow, because nobody knows. If I didn't have the right person around me, I wouldn't have thought about that. Earlier this week, I talked to my pastor, one of my favorite people, as you all know. Now listen, this man talked to me this week, and sometimes when he talks to me, I feel a little down. it's not because he's getting on me, it's because he's so ahead of the game that sometimes I feel like I'm way behind. And the truth is, I probably am sometimes. But if you see somebody like him who is preaching every week, bringing a word every week, praying for people, calling people, making sure things are done with the church, not only that, he has to take care of his home, make sure his wife and kids are good, make sure bills are paid. Not only that, a law firm to run, and he has to make sure that is good, and he's on top of his game, and he's making sure he's doing what he needs to do, and I have him in my circle. Then I have to look at, hey man, he's not being mean to me. All he's doing is telling me, you have to do this in order to get here. And you need people around you who are going to tell you that you need to do this in order to get here. Listen, the reason I'm at a baseball field today is because I want you to remember this. When the baseball players are sitting in the dugout, there's a line of them. And when they're getting ready to go on the field to get up to bat, the players sit in a line because the person who is next is going to get ready to come behind the person who either just got struck out or who just got on base. And if you're never ready to get off of the bench, if you don't have the bat in your hand, if you're not already standing out there ready to get on the plate next, then you'll never be ready for the next level. Get out of the dugout, get off the bench, get from behind that fence, get from behind that gate, and I'm telling you, you are going to go to the next level. Be proactive, and it starts with your circle of influence. Now listen, I gotta go, but I just want to remind you today that you have to push yourself to be the best you that you can be, and you need people around you who love you enough to tell you you can do better. Listen, I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Peace.